What to do, baby boos, and welcome back to another episode of the Bench Bros podcast. I am your host, Cheese Piece, along with my co-host, friend, and lover.
Oh my god.
And we're starting
Oh my.
strong out the gate. This is week 10.
I thought we were on week 11.
This might be week 11.
I don't know.
This is week 11.
Yeah. Last week was week 10.
Yeah. I wonder what next week's going to be.
12. But by your count, it's going to be 10 again.
I just love week 10, man. Something about getting my ass kicked, or getting our ass kicked by Green Bay really sits well with me. It just reminds me of every time we've ever had a good playoff run and it gets shut down.
Oh, yeah.
It was still a football move, and they changed it later, but it doesn't matter now. Anyway.
Do you just want to jump right into football? Is there anything else you want to talk about before we start?
No, I don't think so. I think we can just jump right in.
Okay. Well, the Buccaneers were on bye week this week, so I got a week break for football, which was really cool because I played Pokemon for 50 hours this week so far.
Yeah, it's only been out 4 days, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, it came out technically on Thursday.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're
Well,
going to start
Friday
up with
for us, but yeah.
Yeah. With the Cowboys at Vikings, an absolute slobber knocker that I have ever seen one.
Did you enjoy the game while you could watch it before CBS or whatever station pulled the plug and switched to the ever loving not Saints, Steelers and Bengals game?
No, but at least that one would have been more fun to watch from a football standpoint.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, Cowboys Vikings, man. Final score 40-3. Never would have thought that.
40-3. That's a massacre. I mean,
Yeah.
it's practically a blowout. You
Absolutely.
guys gave him the three pity points, I guess.
Yeah. And let me tell you, man, they worked hard of those 3 points in the very first quarter.
Oh, they got him in the first quarter and then did nothing.
Absolutely nothing, man.
Oh my god.
So coming into this game, I was worried about the quick Kirk Cousins slant routes, as I've talked about this multiple times with him. And I was slightly concerned with Dalvin Cook, but he's more of a power rusher, so it didn't really have me too spooked. It's really where we start getting those agile runners, where we really start to break down in the defensive box for Dallas. Now the first drive is where the hell that starts for Cousins. It's a strip sack, Cowboys recover. Now, before that first drive starts for Dallas, I want every idiot who played high school football who thinks they know anything beyond just grabbing another man or running a route. Dak is an above average quarterback with, I will admit, superstar talent. The 2 picks last week, while he did throw them, is not entirely his fault. Again, he did throw them, but I don't even want to entertain the fact that Rush should have came in at any point last week. You don't know what's going on. Rush does not have the arm. He might know the offense, but it wouldn't help if your receivers are running the routes they're not supposed to. So don't even come at me with your Madden 82 overall rush. Now on to the first drive. Cowboys take a page out of Green Bay's book from last week and start utilizing our run game to take pressure off of Dak's decision making, which is the greatest thing that they can do. It worked pretty well up until the tight end drops it in the end zone. I don't know which one it is. Not the good one. There's 3. There's one that's not good. You'll know who I'm talking about. Dak could have maybe placed it about 2 to 3 inches farther out. But, I mean, come on. That's just grasping at straws, demanding the moon. It's just not going to help. The Vikings were able to hold the Cowboys to a field goal, making it 3-0. The Vikings come out, start getting some momentum on the ground. It's going pretty well. Dalvin Cook is strong. He's fresh. He's ready to run. But, again, just a tight end curse. They drop it in the end zone. Dallas holds them to a 3-3. Now time for our second tangent. Before Dallas takes their second offensive drive, there's literally no reason that Zeke should be starting over Pollard. Now listen very, very carefully. It doesn't matter who starts. It's about how many touches they get, and it's always about the same. Each one has their own strengths, and it showed in that second drive by Dallas where Pollard is running for 40 yards that drive, at least 40 yards, but he just can't finish in the end zone. So we get Zeke, the big boy, to run in through, hit the pocket, bounce out, easy touchdown, 10-3. Now Minnesota comes out after that. Scary team is 7-1. Great receiving core. Usually a great receiving core. Strong running back that unfortunately had to carry the brunt of the weight on the ground, and it hurts a little later on. And he has a great game for the circumstances that he was put up against. With that being said, the O line could not stop the Dallas D line, and as soon as the momentum started, and the Vikings are like, yeah, let's start going for these bigger plays. Let's go for this play action, slow down the defense. Oh, we'll let our receiving core. It's powerful. We should be able to get these 20, 30-yard plays easily. If nothing else, 7, 8. But Dallas D line runs in and just keeps hammering Cousins. 7 sacks on the game. Now, with that being said, Dallas stops them. No issue at all. First quarter, kind of slow. We were going to go ahead and jump to the second. Now, the quarterback option that Dallas ran in the mid-second, and honestly, it's scary for all of our Dallas fans. Any NFL team that has a quarterback that you know is injury prone, it's terrifying to have him run and possibly be gone for 10 games. But he's a decently talented quarterback. And look at Jalen Hurts. Eventually, someone's going to, unfortunately, it happens all the time. Knee injuries plague running quarterbacks. But we need to start incorporating him when we can. And I think a lot of the quarterback option could have been done last week. It was a couple missed opportunities. I don't know if maybe Dak was a little scared and they gave him some more confidence this week. Great 10-yard run for him. The O-line for Dallas is fantastic, and the chemistry that they have going, the blocking schemes, and the strength each one has. That center, guard, the center and guard, that middle is completely shirred up, and they love going to that right side. And then even with that rookie left tackle, the pass protection is still solid. He's getting around the side, and because that middle is so strong, they can bounce people out and get everybody moved to where they need to, and let Dak move up and stay in that pocket. Now, the first big thing for the Vikings defense, they were never really letting Dallas break off big plays until about mid-second, where they started getting tired. They kept getting blown off the line, 3 yards off the line of scrimmage when they ran, and they ran a lot of man coverage, which is one thing that Dak is very comfortable playing. It's the zones that you need to work on. And you might be saying, well, Vikings are more of a zone team. Not the way that they were chasing. Or maybe they were just way too soft in their zones, and it looked like man, and they just were relaxing. At the end of the second, the TOP, time of possession, where the one team wastes more time off the clock than the other, is already, you can start to see it. Dallas, I think, is like plus 4 minutes in 30 minutes, which is pretty massive. And the biggest reason why this is big is because the entire defense they keep getting hammered, staying on the field. The offense is trying to get something going, but they just have to sit on the sideline. So all those guys are now cold. It's freezing in Minnesota. It's just not, it's a recipe for disaster. But Cowboys take advantage of the fatigue Keens in the late second, and easy walk-in touchdown for Pollard there. And the Vikings try to make something happen in the late second. They still got some fight in them. It's 20-3 at this point, but they're just dropping passes, a lot of penalties for them, a lot of false starts, and they just can't get it going, man. They leave about 40 seconds on the clock, which is more than enough time, as anybody will tell you, for any good team to get a score. Now, luckily for them, the Cowboys evened hot, and with a great designed rollout play by McCarthy, pick up a monster 30-yard pass. And I don't know if you saw it, but I believe it was CeeDee Lamb reaches over the sideline, feet still in, and he is almost vertical, catches the ball, football move, sets it up for a fantastic 60-yard field goal. 23-3. The second half was cut short. Even though I fucking pay for NFL Plus, CBS said, man, this game sucks at 30-3, and they stopped airing it. So that was fucking bullshit. Fuck you, Roger Goodell.
Favor on that one.
I kind of did. I just spent the rest of the day hanging out with my wife.
So, I mean,
one D&D.
You were watching a Cowboys game, and two, I mean, you really want to sit there and watch, 2 hours of a fucking beatdown where you already know the outcome of what's going to happen?
Oh, absolutely. Do you don't okay. Do you understand what a
I mean,
Cowboy fan is?
I know what being a fan is. Like if the Bucks are losing, I mean, if I know the Bucks are winning, right? Let's say we're playing some dog shit team, like I don't know, the
Colts,
fucking
Falcons,
the fu-
Saints.
yeah, anybody else in our fucking division, right? And I'm sitting here watching, and the score is what? What was the score in like the half? The
At
score
the half, it was
was it,
23-3. When they
okay,
cut it, it was 30-3.
okay. When you cut the game at 30-3, right? In the third quarter, right? Why do I need to watch this? There's almost no feasible way for the way the Vikings were playing to make a comeback. There wasn't.
No, it was like when
And it's
you
literally a waste of your time. You're gonna sit there, you're gonna watch mostly commercials anyways, and you could be doing something better.
yeah, like playing D&D, which we do every Sunday. Check it out in YouTube's. Pretty good. But here, I loved it because it felt good to finally see the click. It felt like, I mean, it was essentially LeBron James dunking on people in wheelchairs. It was, and just an ass kicking. And it was nice to see when things are going well. And this is where I really wanted to watch it. This is the time to really start breaking down technique. Okay, we're 30-3, sure, but who is running their route the way they're supposed to? Who's blocking the way they're supposed to? Who is reading the defense? What running back? How is he going to stay in the backfield and block, or is he going to try and pop out, trying to help out the quarterback? For me, this was perfect. But I mean, it was like I don't know. You remember when you were in middle school and your friends all had like those horrific websites in like the
Joke's
mid
on
two
you. I
thousands?
didn't have friends in middle school.
Okay, okay, I didn't either, but I heard about them. But they had all these like horrific websites where people like getting decapitated and you
No, because
know
we're not psychopaths. I don't know where you went to school and who your
you know
friends were.
are you serious? I felt like that was a very common thing for middle school, like high
No.
school kids in that time. Really? Wow. I never watched them. I was a very empathetic child. So that shit would have scarred me. But that's essentially what was going on with Kirk Cousins just getting demolished. It was tough. Going back to it. 30-3, Pollard gets in to make it that 30-3. Easy walk-in touchdown off a great place pass, and he shows he loves taking apart that man-to-man defense for Dak. Vikings did not have a great game. They were held down, but it was the two injuries on the O-line, and that's where the Dallas D-line started smelling blood in the water in that second quarter, and Vikings just can't stop the hemorrhaging. I think Dak maybe threw 12 times in that second half, but there was really no point for it. I think it was just, yeah, we'll run it 2, 3 plays, or we'll run 2 plays. Okay, we're third and like 5. Okay, we'll run it to get the first, or we'll pass to get the first. Okay, let's go ahead and waste some more time. The entire last quarter and the condensed was only 7 minutes. And usually, even a quarter, it's 15 minutes, and a quarter is usually about 20. Actually, it's 30 to 45 minutes on actual TV, and then it's probably 30 minutes of gameplay and or screen time, and then maybe 15 to 20 minutes of game between false starts, penalties, shit like that. This one was 7. They just got in, kept going, going, going. It was it was bad. Two big special team blunders for the Vikings. I mean, it was over at this point. I don't know if you saw this one, but
Nope.
honestly, I would not have chalked it up to an unnecessary roughness at all. So what happened was Vikings punt. Turpin is in the back. He's still in bounds, but he grabs it and he has it in, but I think he brings it down too fast and he basically throws it at the floor. It hits out of bounds. But before there's even a whistle, number 20 for the Vikings, I believe it was, nails him. And I mean, I get it. You got to throw the flag, but I mean, it was definitely, I would have just chalked it up to life comes at you fast and football is even faster type of thing. And then the second mistake was a mental mistake by the returner for the Vikings, thinking he was down. And luckily, even though he dropped it basically in the Cowboy hands, it was recovered by the Vikings. Man, dude, we can just skip on all the way through it, man. It's the fourth quarter's quiet. They pull in Cooper for Dallas. They pull in Mullins for the Vikings. And the entire fourth quarter is basically a preseason game to see which backups are worth having. Because I know that the Cowboys, OBJ, he's up in the air. Nobody knows where he's gonna go. But they're sitting there thinking, man, we can probably cut some of these people if we play like this. That being said, don't get too excited about it.
Yeah, OBJ is a double-edged sword,
Oh, he really is. He's a cancer in the locker room, from what I understand.
and he gets injured almost every year.
Yep. I mean, he's when he's on the field, he's great, but he's got to get on the field. Final thoughts on this game because I could go through the entire rest of the third and fourth, but at that point they cut it, and this is definitely when it should have been cut. They did a lot of Dallas did a lot of great things here. They leaned on the run game and let Dak take his pick in the secondary. This is something that they have to continue to implement, even when the run isn't necessarily going. They have to continue to lean on it. With that being said, they have to be able to interchange it into the game. If you run it every time on first down, you're just telegraphing the run game isn't that strong. On the defensive side, I was definitely concerned when Trayvon Diggs apparently wanted I can't Jordan Jefferson, something like that. I know his last name's Jefferson, the Vikings wide receiver star, and he was able to keep him down. Man, Trayvon Diggs is not a man-to-man guy. He is a zone ball hawk that loves to go and see what the wide receiver's running, pick it off. The injuries on the O-line for the Vikings were just too much to handle, and the D-line had their way all game. As for the Vikings, they needed to change up their offensive scheme well before that first injury in the second quarter. Kirk Cousins is excellent in picking up secondary schemes, especially off the rip, right off of that hut. He says hut, takes 2 seconds, not even two, he takes a second to look, boom, boom, hits it. But with this high powered receiving core, it gets in your head that you need these longer plays and you can do these longer plays. Obviously didn't work out here. Your offensive line is hurting. The D line is way too powered for you to have a lot of these slow developing play action plays and things like that. The injuries from Minnesota could not be dealt with, and the ground game suffered. And with that, though, like I said, Cook had 72 yards on rushing only, which is still pretty good for him. Any other person, no. I think Cousins threw for 106 yards, and Mullins threw for maybe 30 something. On the defensive side for the Vikings, they need to be more aggressive attacking in the gaps, and if nothing else, bring up some combo blitzes, try some stunts with the secondary to try and throw Dak off balance. And honestly, it's not that really hard to do. The game was decisive, and even if Vikings would not have had the injuries and got a little momentum, I still think this game still would have gone to the Cowboys 24 to a Vikings 13. And that was the travesty of the Vikings and triumph of the Cowboys.
Um, so the World Cup started.
Yeah, honestly, couldn't care less. I hate soccer.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I do like it when countries are sad.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know anything about FIFA. You basically know it's a international mafia that sometimes put us on like a soccer program.
Oh, absolutely, dude. They are fucking horrible.
And they put it in Qatar, one of the worst fucking nations on the face of this earth. Um,
Well, say it
yeah,
twice for the people in the back.
one of the worst nations on this earth. They're oil companies. They have like horrible human rights track record, horrible women's rights. Um,
But aren't
and
women's rights human rights?
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, no, they're
Um,
terrible.
there were more people, more immigrant workers in that country building the World Cup stadiums than there were national citizens of that country. I
Oh,
think
shit.
the nation of Qatar is not very inhabited.
Huh.
Um, this
You know
year
what? All that,
we're
and they lost in the very first game.
yeah, they did. They lost pretty fucking bad too.
Qatar
And
to
as soccer
Ecuador, not to be confused with the equator.
from a soccer standpoint, getting 2 points is like you are champions in soccer. And we're
Yeah.
going to continue to call it soccer because that's what it's supposed to be called, the soccer. It only got
Well,
started calling football until the 20th century after we had the game American football, and everyone had to start calling it American football after the British are like, well, we want to call it football, mate. Fuck off. It's soccer.
what? You're having a head. You're laughing. You're having a laugh. I'll bet you head in the story, me mom.
Yeah. There's 32 teams this playing, and they are Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, the Netherlands, England, Iran, US, Wales, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea.
If one of your nations was said,
All these
comment. If it
teams
wasn't, who
fucking
cares? It's
suck.
soccer. Yeah.
Even us.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. England kicking the shit out of Iran, which I didn't even know Iran had a soccer team.
Who cares? It's soccer.
It's true.
We tied with Wales, which, in all honesty, is probably like we won because we're the USA. We don't even really care about soccer to begin with.
Yeah, the real athletes are out playing, I don't know, any of the other sports, even
Yeah,
hockey for that matter.
hockey's a great sport. We should talk
Oh,
about
it
hockey
is.
more. It's
We
basically
should.
boxing on skates.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, the game's going. We can start talking about. I think you got what, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we have the St. Louis Blues here. We can start picking that out too.
um, and then today, Argentina and Saudi Arabia played. Argentina has Lionel Messi, one of the like greatest modern football players ever, and they got their shit kicked in by Saudi Arabia.
I hear a lot about him. Don't really know him.
Yeah, neither do I. I could like again, I care less about soccer.
Yeah, you
It's one
just
of the
know
most
like the big two
boring. It's
names.
one of the most boring sports I've ever watched. Um, if you look, most of the highlights are like 4 minutes long for a 90-minute game. So you have what are you doing the other 86 minutes? Nothing. It's literally the most fucking boring sport I've ever had the misfortune of watching.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, France beat Australia today, and I guess Denmark and Tunisia and Mexico and Poland play today. So
Well, that's pretty good for them.
I
I'm
could give
proud.
again
I suppose.
two shits. But I
Yeah.
want to more talk about like Qatar and their handling of the World Cup. They
Oh my
spent, I
god.
think, over $200 billion or something like that to build all these stadiums and stuff over the past 10 years to get ready for this.
And I feel like this
Oh,
happens every time a nation does the World Cup. What was it, 2016 in Brazil?
Brazil. Yeah, but
Or
Brazil was nothing. Like Brazil at least had the space and like the people there to build it.
at
Granted,
least,
no
yeah,
one
they had
uses
the
these
manpower.
stadiums.
No, they're
200
sitting in
and
disrepair.
yeah, $220 billion,
Yep.
which is insane.
Oh yeah, that's more than a lot of these countries like
They
entire
constructed
GDP.
stadiums, skyscrapers, but entire cities. They created a transport system
Oh, they
and
built a wall to keep the poor people out.
and an airport. What do you mean? There's no poor people in Qatar. They're either fucking executed or they're shipped back to their country.
Oh,
What are you
well,
talking
never
about? There's no
mind.
poor people there.
Ah, you know what?
Um,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is.
they literally we're not gonna build hotels for these people to come. We're gonna build the fire festival tents and draw doors on them.
Oh, but you do get
And
2 locks to secure your cloth tent.
oh yeah, congratulations. And or a shipping container.
Do you think the shipping containers are worth more than the tents? They've got to be, right?
I would think so. Maybe there's AC in them.
Maybe, but
In the
can't say for
pictures
sure.
I'm looking at, I don't see any AC like window units.
No,
But you
same
also
here.
have like those indoor units. The I forget what you call them.
Yeah, just like portable AC or just indoor units that just have the hose that just sits out the top or whatever as a vent.
Yeah, but $220 billion, and you can't even fucking build a hotel. But we're gonna pay like the what do you call them? Dude Perfect YouTube channel. We're gonna fly them over there and show you how great it is. We're gonna pay
Did they
David.
really?
Yeah, the Dude Perfect YouTube channel sold their souls to get some of that oil blood money from Qatar,
Emphasis on the blood.
and so did David Beckham.
Yeah, I mean he has to. I think FIFA Illuminati mob were like, "Hey, we gave you all of those games. We gave you those championships. You have to do this, or
Well,
we'll."
no, he's an English player. Most of the time, people aren't playing in the World Cup. They're
Oh,
playing in
is
their
oh, that's right. I forgot that this is they have their own little bullshit going on.
yeah. The soccer's weird where they have like all their clubs and people can play for whatever club they want,
Yeah,
but you can have an opportunity to go play for your national team to doesn't matter what club you're a part of as long as you're a national of that country.
I'm trying to see. Don't soccer leagues work that?
They do like
You
point differentials too. It's really
right?
weird. Like you can have the most wins, but if you don't have like more points than the next guy, you still lose, which is kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Because you could play a dog shit team that can't block anything, and you're like a mid team, and you play against like another team about your standing, but they played like other teams around in their standing, and they can have way more points than you, and you could beat them out, but they're still going to win because at the end they still have more collective points. It's just a dog shit system. Soccer's stupid,
yeah.
and I'm getting more and more mad talking about this.
Oh, dude, you know what it reminds me of? NASCAR. Let's go ahead and get you started on that.
NASCAR is not a sport.
It's
Sitting
not a
down and
sport.
driving a car is not a sport. I don't care how athletic you think you have to be to turn a
No.
wheel at
Yeah,
15 degrees
there's
to the left. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I see golf is more of an sport than that, and I don't think golf is a sport either. It's a
Yeah, at
physical
least
activity.
yeah. At least there's technique in golf. I wouldn't say any physical prowess, but at least you have to know what you're doing. You can just drive a car.
It's
Yeah, I'm looking at
ridiculous.
it now. You get 3 points for winning and one for drawing. So, could you, in theory, if there's an actual team that you're like, man, these guys are actually good, we just have to make sure that we
Yeah, no, the teams will
just
like actively try to fuck them over, even though they're worse. They'll just try to draw them and not let them win.
yeah,
That's a whole strategy.
yeah, especially if they're in
Instead
the
of
lead, all they have to do is
buckling
just
down and trying to
yeah,
win.
yeah. I think they need to go to a record base and let's see where this shit goes. And from what I
Like
understand, you have to get
every
points and you
others.
move up in leagues. Is that right?
Yeah, it's weird how soccer works. You can move up leagues, down leagues.
So if you potentially lost so many times, would you have to like play Sister Margaret's Home for Wayward Boys and just be on like some random
No, but there's like
soccer pitch?
the shit league. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I would just love Beckham to be there. Like I'm too good for this, but he's still playing at the Park Field
Little
number
Pee
7
Wee.
down in Scottsdale.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that anybody in all these news media outlet countries or whatever want to, promote this sport is a fucking travesty. It's all these mostly European countries anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they got nothing else
Uh,
going on.
you can't even buy alcohol there because it's a Muslim
Yes.
nation,
Yeah. And
which
this is after I think Budweiser had a huge deal with them, didn't they?
oh yeah, Budweiser gave him a fuck ton of money.
And then FIFA's like, "What do you want from us? Sell beer
Uh
at other places. Bye."
well yeah, Budweiser can literally buy out the World Cup 500 times over, so
Yeah. Oh man. Soccer sucks. Qatar sucks. Let's go back. Okay, so I saw a video about the tents. Fire
mhm.
Festival. At least these are actually no, I would say they look very nice. Like they look like kind of like those prissy tents as opposed to like the dome shelter. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? But I watched the video and it's just a flat felt mat with sand and dirt and rocks underneath
Yeah.
and two shittily made twin beds.
Mhm.
And that's it. I didn't think I mean there's no AC. It's a tent. And in Qatar it gets fucking hot, man.
129 degrees Fahrenheit.
In the shade. And then you showed me a picture. Now let's go ahead and break this down. And you can see this possibly if we decide to edit it in.
Yeah. Just
Uh
look up Qatar World Cup shipping containers and you'll see it.
yeah, you'll know you're on the right one because there is, I guess, a very burnt Mr. Peanut with a bowler hat selling falafels. You'll
No,
know.
that's one of the migrant workers that got imported. His passport probably stolen from him and forced to work as a slave.
Oh, okay. I was talking about the actual
Oh,
mascot for the
I
falafel
thought you were
place,
talking
but yeah,
about the
we'll talk
Jew.
about him too.
I thought that's who you're talking
The
about.
burnt Mr. Peanut.
I'm sorry. This whole topic has me fucking pissed.
Okay. But yeah, he's going into the falafel place like, oh, time to earn. I don't know what they. It's 3 Qatar cents an hour or whatever the fuck they got going on there.
Yeah, I don't know what they use for money. Probably fucking oil fucking drops.
They probably do, man. Just enough. They're like, hey, and here, you work this hard in a year's time, you'll have enough to do half of your car's oil change.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking at it here. You said there's these shutters. and a
Yeah,
single door.
they almost look like hurricane like shutters to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh,
Where they
absolutely.
roll down and lock in before the storm comes.
Yeah.
They don't even look like they more look like, yeah, they look like that. It looks like there's blinds almost.
If I
I
didn't
w-
know what I was looking at and I saw this on Facebook, I would automatically think that the caption is something like, "This is the future liberals want."
yeah, it looks like um a up one step up from a refugee camp.
Yeah. It's just painted nicer. The yellow paint
Yeah.
hasn't flaked off yet.
Yeah, and they put some astroturf down.
Yeah, I do
They didn't
see
even
here they
bother.
do have
They
some
didn't even
cameras.
bother. Oh yeah, no, they're gonna have cameras there because they want to make sure you're not drinking alcohol or doing
Yeah,
anything that you're gonna get fucking assassinated for and buried in the desert.
I don't even know. They just bury you right underneath the AstroTurf.
Yeah, probably
They'll be like, yeah. They'll be
along
like,
with
why
the
is it
other
so
migrant
lumpy
work,
here? Yeah,
along with the other migrant workers that died building the stadium.
yeah. That just like the Temple of China, the Great Wall of China. They just threw them bitches in and then grouted over them.
Yeah, probably. It's just awful. I don't know why anybody would support
Any of this.
this, any of
Oh, but there
this.
are people wearing the like One Love
No, that got
shit.
banned. They said
Yeah,
they're just gonna kick the players out if they decide to do that.
I think there's a whole team. Their away jersey has it stitched in or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
And I
They
mean,
probably
honestly,
won't let
to
him
get kicked
play.
out of this, who gives a shit? Fuck it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
who cares?
it's the I guess the Olympics of soccer, but
They play soccer in the Olympics.
right. So who gives a shit? Like this is just yeah. So why even have it in the Olympics again?
I don't know. I think they use the Olympics as a qualifier for the World Cup. I could be wrong. I don't care. Like again, I don't care enough soccer.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
just this whole subject has pissed me off so much
I can
since
hear it in your voice.
Qatar has been announced like 10 years ago. I don't remember when
Yeah,
they got announced to do this. It just fucking pisses me off. Did you
yeah.
see the video of the Danish news crew that was in Qatar and
I
they're
did not.
doing No, you've never seen this video?
I don't think I have.
There's a video of the Danish news crew and
Are they in Qatar?
they were.
They were. Oh no.
You have the host in you have the host, right, in
Yeah.
their home country, and then you have the news crew in Qatar. And the host asked like what are the conditions for journalists there? Not even 5 seconds later, the goon squad rolls up in a golf cart and is like demanding that they turn off the camera because they're not allowed to film wherever. And he's like, "What do you mean? You invited the world to come here, and you didn't expect the
Right.
news to be here?" And he's like, "No, you can't film here. You can't film here." And he's like, "I can film here. You gave me a press pass. What do you want me to do?" And then they
Right.
say, "We're gonna break the camera." And he's like, "Go ahead, break the camera. It's live news. We already have the
Right.
footage."
Yeah. Okay. I think I had scrolled past that, but I was just like, oh, what? Whatever. It's
Oh
another
my
horrific
god, it
thing.
was like fucking you couldn't have scripted it that good. You couldn't have scripted it. And then you have fucking doofus who was driving fucking waving at the camera like, "Hi mom, I'm on TV."
I'm about to commit a Geneva Convention crime.
Yeah, I'm about to commit a crime.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, you say convention, I say suggestion. Tomato, tomato.
And they want like and then you have fucking what is it? Whoever, I don't care enough to know who the president of FIFA is. Some other fucking criminal.
Jonathan
Um
FIFA.
I don't know, some bald dude. He's like,
Okay.
soccer shouldn't be about politics. Uh, but they're gonna start like you can't have like any like rainbows on you. You can't like have an armband with you. That's pretty fucking political to me. You don't
Yeah,
want to piss
taking a
off a
stance at
government.
all is,
You don't
especially
want to
against that.
piss off a host country that has literally a population, not even the population of fucking Rhode Island, probably.
Yeah, that's where Peter Griffin lives. And let me tell you, it's not a good place.
I hope America wins so we can continue to shit on this topic and just show the world and like, oh, the Americans they don't care about our sport football, and if we win, it'd be great because then I'll
Yeah,
continue to shit on these other nations.
Yeah, and then that one guy, Greg from the office, that nobody talks to because he's into soccer, will finally be happy for
Mm-hmm.
that 1 week.
You find he has a reason to live
Yeah,
and not to throw himself out the 32nd story window
yeah,
while his boss Janina bitches about some other fucking bullshit. Yeah.
yeah. Janina,
Yeah, I couldn't think of another name. I couldn't think of like a white lady name off the top of my head. I didn't want to say Karen.
Joanne
Yeah,
with two
Joanne, that
N's.
works.
Yeah,
Lisa,
Michelle,
Sarah,
mm,
any generic white woman name.
Brittany with an IE.
Mm-hmm. Crystal.
Oh, but with an I instead of a Y for and a K. Oh,
Yeah, that guy. I'm rooting for that guy.
yeah,
Not the team, well, not the team he supports, but just that guy.
yeah.
I hope he finds his happiness. This imaginary man we've created.
Greg, if you're listening, don't jump.
Don't jump, Greg.
Oh my god. Oh
I
man,
think. Is there anything
so
else I want to shit on soccer for, other
I
than
don't know.
being a dumb sport?
Um, couldn't tell you for sure. Shelby is barging in here, so I'm gonna mute real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So this, I guess this is gonna be recorded. It's
Do we
kind of
have
fine.
breaking? Do we have breaking news?
We kind of have breaking news. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave. No emergency, per se, but my in-laws, not they're fine, but their neighbor, about 2 doors down, somebody was stealing from him, and they have
Oh,
cameras, so they're gonna try and get the cops, and they're gonna try and
what does that have to do with you?
I have to go apparently. So is there any way we can splice in something a little later on, maybe
Yeah, I
7-ish?
could cut it together.
Yeah.
I'm.
Oh man, we had a really good flow today too.
Yeah,
This
that
is going
sucks.
very well. Yeah,
I
fuck.
blame Greg. I hope he jumps out the window now.
Yeah, fuck you, Greg, and your stupid fucking team. You're in England, but you go for Wales, and you're not even
Yeah,
from Wayland or
it's
whatever. What is
it's just
Wales?
Wales. Wales is the country.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're not even
yeah,
from there.
Wales. Why are you still part of England? Why haven't you succeeded or tried to rebel against them? I mean, you did like 1,000 years ago, but try again.
Listen, I don't
We
think
did
it's
it in
gone well. I think
1776, and we kicked
yeah,
England's teeth in, and we're
yeah.
about to do it again tomorrow.
You know what? It's the perfect time. There, England is in disarray.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna have a new prime minister after this one.
Yeah, the Queen's dead. Pedo
Lizzie's
Charles
in a
is in.
box. Lizzie's in a box. Oh my God, have you
Is that
seen that?
no? I have not. You
Oh
have to
my
send that to
God.
me.
Some Ireland like football fans, like the day she died, they wanted to have like a moment of silence for the Queen, and they start chanting Lizzie's in a box. Lizzie's in a box. It was the funniest shit. I can give two shits about a monarch.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Well,
don't
other
care if
like
you
people were
think there
getting
was a
mad that people were cheering about this, but I mean,
I could give two shits.
historically, yeah, but historically, England has been a very oppressive nation. I would
You know,
probably celebrate if their king queen died too, if I was a part of one of those.
while she's queen, you had the was it in Kenya, they had a rebellion against their government, against the monarch, and we're just gonna put him in detention camps and fucking basically put him in concentration camps until they all calm down. But yeah,
Yeah,
Queen Elizabeth's a good person. She's
yeah,
okay with that.
right.
Fuck her,
There
stick her
is
in her
some
pine,
say.
put her in her pine box and stick her in the ground.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah. So
So,
we're back. Sorry
mm-hmm.
about that. Uh, Shelby came into the room, my lovely wife, my only, and apparently my in-laws, crazy neighbor, thinks someone is fucking with this house. So her dad calls her and he's like, "Hey, I think I got something on the camera, but I can only have it on my phone. Is there any way you can get it at like the hub?" So we're like, "Oh shit, this must be real." So we go over there, and sure enough, man, he's got 8 different cameras set up, which honestly I like it. I want more cameras in my house. I'm going through every single camera. I'm going between noon and 3 o'clock, and I'm looking at all 8 cameras, and some of them like they only record when you get motion. So I'm just watching these cameras pop up, boom, 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 and I'm like, okay, this right here, that, and I'm cross-referencing shit, and I'm like, this is this is that. So we're sitting there, probably about 45 minutes of us just like, real think tank, but nobody brought the coffee. And
You,
sure enough, dude.
you, I'm gonna pause right there. So
Sure.
you couldn't well, he had it on his phone, right? I'm assuming there's like
Yeah.
a timestamp on it.
Yes.
You couldn't just fast forward to the timestamp.
Yeah, but
So you
in the
watched
one he got,
45 minutes of nothing.
yes. But in the timestamp he had, we couldn't really discern anything because it was so far away. And he has a really small phone. So
Okay.
we're like, okay, that could be something. We did go to it, but it was still kind of too far away. So we're like, okay. And he could only get that little 10-second window.
Mm-hmm.
So it pops in, pops out. So we're sitting there for 45 minutes because we still have to make sure. And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, man, I don't know if this man or woman or creature knew where the cameras were or was just incredibly lucky. But there's a blind spot because, you when you're looking at your neighbor's house, you don't have cameras on the other side of your neighbor's house. Whoever it is comes up through the woods, up this man's back stairway, and starts fucking with his like just starts fucking with the stuff around at the top of the stairway. And ooh, I was looking around. I'm like, how did he get there? There's no way he could have just. There's no way he came from the woods because the woods it's literally like. I mean, I wouldn't call it the woods, right? But it's probably a tenth of a mile of like brush. So not very much, right? 200 feet, roughly 600 Big Macs, and then it's just road. So the highway. And there's nothing on this highway. It's just a highway for like 5 miles.
Yeah.
So somebody was walking down the highway, or they parked their car, walked through 200 feet or whatever it is of brush to go up to this man's house to fuck with the stuff on top of his stairs, and
Mm-hmm.
then just walks away
So this
back
was
into the forest.
at your in-laws' house that they fuck
Yeah.
with stuff.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the in law, it was the neighbors.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong, the neighbor is crazy, and I think I've talked about it before in very, very early streams that you can
Yeah.
find on YouTube at
I
youtube.com/cheesepeas.
remember you telling me when I was there too.
Yeah. And dude, it was spooky, man. Just seeing somebody just like, but it was so far
It's
away.
kind of
And
fucking
they're,
funny. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
It's kind of fucking funny.
Yeah. The one time, honestly, I thought he was fucking blowing smoke up our ass because he's crazy. Like I said, it's like, I'm not a psychologist, but the man's off his fucking rocker. And the one time we're like, yeah, we'll look into it. Sure enough, there's fucking somebody there, and he's not just fucking spinning stories.
I'm sure that's gonna make him lose a gasket.
Oh man, he's gonna be. I swear to God, he's gonna be sitting up in his porch with a shotgun, just waiting now.
He's gonna get a duck blind in the woods waiting for him.
Dude, he might, and hopefully the guy who walked through the woods doesn't see it first.
I
It
think
just
that's
make,
fucking
dude, there's meth
hilarious.
heads coming out, man. Yeah, it had to have been a meth head because they just come up, they fuck around, and then they leave back into the woods from whence they came.
That's not what they do though.
I know. That's what makes it noticeable. Maybe they took some shit. Like, I don't know. He has a bunch of gnomes and like little knickknacks up there. Maybe they thought they saw it on Antique Roadshow and they're like, this is worth a fortune. Wah!
Normally meth heads they get working on projects, and I say projects. It's mostly them like piling stuff up in the area, trying to think that they're cleaning
Yeah.
and like organizing
Mm,
things. They don't really like walk up to a place, move stuff around. I mean, they could, but it doesn't sound like it.
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe someone's fucking with them. Maybe there's a meth head living in the woods and they needed something to decorate their pile. But it was,
He's making a nest. He's collecting objects.
yeah, taking gnomes and flamingos. And I'm gonna say a flamingo with one leg, and you're like, yeah, flamingos only stand on one leg. Like, no, the flamingo's broken; it only has one leg.
Oh no, poor flamingo.
Yeah, yeah. There
Maybe it
was a
was.
running tally of what was missing.
Oh no.
This includes cat food and a bag of frozen chicken nuggets.
Yeah, maybe it is a homeless person in the woods.
Maybe, man.
Are they like starting a fire to like cook the frozen chicken nuggets, like stick them on
Uh,
sticks,
I don't know, because he said that the chicken nuggets went
make like
missing
a
about
shitty?
3 days ago.
Why does he have chicken nuggets on his porch?
Ah, dude, it's wild the way he lives. He has a fridge outside,
Oh, okay.
and I don't think that it has electricity. I just think it's so cold that he just keeps stuff in there.
It's not okay.
But again, it's not that cold. But mind you, this man is absolutely bonkers.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone searching the woods.
You know what? I give it till tomorrow. He said that he thinks he knows who it is, and he's gonna wait for some lights to come on, and then he's gonna call the cops. I don't know what this means.
Yeah, I don't. But if
All I
it's just
know is it
somebody
was
fucking with him,
wild.
that's kind of hilarious.
I mean, it might be. I think that because he has a fuck ton of cats. Cats probably got in to the cat food place, and then he probably ate his chicken nuggets, and he's like, "Who did this?" And he still got ketchup on his fucking chin. Who did this to me? Who's taking my chicken nuggets? I used all my
Boy,
good boy points to get these tendies. This looks in the mirror. It was you, and then he just tackles it and gets bad luck for 7 years.
it was Greg.
It was Greg on his way down on doing a flip. The man's acrobatic. Fucking Greg. I hope your team loses. Fuck you, Wales. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's what I spent the last hour and a half doing.
No, it's been longer than that. It's been almost 3 hours.
Oh shit. Well, you got to factor in drive time.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, no, it was a minute. And then my cousin, well, Shelby's cousin, but I mean, we can go through the whole thing where she's my aunt-in-law, but I'm just gonna
God,
say my
I'm not
cousin.
doing this again.
We don't have to because I'm just gonna call him my cousin. He called me up. He's like, "Hey man, just got a deer. You want to come butcher it up?" And I'm like,
No.
"Fuck yeah!
Oh,
What are you talking about? I'm gonna go get a 6-pack of Natty Light,
oh, gross.
and we are gonna butcher a deer out in his like shed."
I have enough to deal with the pigs. I don't want to have to butcher any more animals.
Oh, look at you, heart of gold.
I
You
already
have too
don't
much
like.
blood on your hands.
I already don't like doing that.
Well, they say you're not supposed to name them.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, that's like rule number one of the Hitman game.
Even if they did, I really don't care. Regardless,
Oh, just
some of them have
just
names, but those are the ones that get to live.
until like, do they get to live out their whole life?
No,
Okay. Is it when like when does a pig stop becoming useful?
when it gets big enough.
Okay, so the ones that are named just haven't gotten big enough.
No, they are.
Okay,
They
so what are
just
you
they
waiting
just
for
make
them
more
to?
pigs.
Okay, I was like, what are you doing? Like waiting for it to stop producing milk or something? Like, what are
No,
you
yeah,
talking
basically
about?
stop. Just wait for the right time. I mean, it's winter right now. We have no more room in the freezer.
Oh, damn.
You know, 2 full hogs will do that.
Yeah, they will. I thought about getting into hunting just so that way I could get like. I mean, it's kind of expensive to start up, but I feel like you can make the investment.
Not really. It really
Well, I mean, you
isn't.
got to get a gun, which
That's
I don't know. A
cheap.
gun's not really that much.
If you
What,
get like a
the
hunting
400
rifle,
bucks for
yeah,
a decent one? And then ammo is pretty cheap.
yeah. Like
I,
I don't want to look it up, but I can look up like a hunting rifle and just see like a 5.5. What is it? Like a 5.56. What is the normal round? Like I'd
I
say
have no
you're
idea,
gonna
man.
take down like a deer.
I don't know. I know people use like 20 and 22s.
Yeah, you can.
Get
And it's like
gauge. It's a shotgun as opposed to a rifle, but I mean, like, that's what my cousin just dropped one with, a 22.
yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, it was
But
a projectile.
if you're using a 22, you kind of have to go for the head.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's a fucking crack shot. I looked at the carcass, man, because we were over there. I don't know if I told you. They're going through a time, and so he was showing me the deer, and man, that the bottom rib cage is just fucking exploded.
And he didn't. I don't think he used a 22.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Your basic like hunting rifle. I just looked up hunting rifles.
Dude, a 50 cal.
No, anything. I'm not gonna say 22s because those are you can come by those for like $100.
Yeah.
308 or 243 Winchester, $380. So under $400. But that's
Which
brand new.
really, yeah,
You
and
could
really
probably go
that's
to
not
like
bad.
Probably go to a pawn shop and get like something like that in your area for probably under 200, for around 200.
Ooh, you know what? You got a point. I do have my card that says I am mentally stable enough to have a gun. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So like a
Oh
little
no.
investment like that. What? What
I
did it
clicked
just sink in?
no, I clicked a button to like show
Mhm.
me like their new stuff on the website I was on. I won't give it out. I'm not giving them free promotion for the 5 people that listen to this.
Yeah.
Um
Wow, 5 people. Congrats
uh
if you made it this far. You're part of the five. Thanks,
there's
Dad.
a 22, but instead of it, it's like a that like polymer plastic, but instead of it being like black tan or whatever color you want it to be, it's the American flag.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, I can send you a link to it if you really want, but
Oh, please do. I might fucking buy it. I mean,
it's a
deer are
22.
colorblind. I don't think they recognize patterns, and if they see the American flag, they just be like, "Oh no!" I'm gonna have it on there. If you can see this, I don't. Deer can't read, so I'll probably have to scratch it in, like in with deer hoof prints. But if you can read this, you're too close.
Deer hoof print. There you go.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
But yeah. I have a 22, but mine's like over from World War II,
Jesus Christ, man!
and that thing runs strong.
Is it made in West Germany or?
No, it's made in America.
Okay, there
I
you
mean, it's
go, man.
wood
Oh,
bolt action. I love it.
oh, dude, I love bolt actions. They just feel so cool.
Except it's conditioned for right-handed people, and I'm left-handed.
Oh, that's right. You're part of the sinners.
Well, I can do both, but I'm better left-handed.
You know what? I haven't shot enough to really be like I'm a left-handed shooter or right. I don't think
You
it's
can
really.
tell as soon as you do it, like it just feels right.
I mean, I picked up a bunch of sticks in the woods that I used as a gun, so
Mm,
I usually go to my right.
yeah, then you're probably right-handed.
Makes
I'm
sense.
left-handed.
Also, I have an astigmatism in my left eye, so I don't think I
Oh
could
boy.
be. I don't think I could aim with the left, but it does make Christmas that much more sparklier. Do you have an astigmatism?
No.
Do you
I
know what
have
it does to the eye?
Yeah, it makes everything look sparkly. Well, like
Yeah.
if you do the lights, they kind of like spread out.
Oh, it's beautiful. I have a problem driving at night.
I have a problem driving at night too, but that's because there's no tint on my windows, and people here have a lot of lifted trucks, and if you lift a truck, you're supposed to adjust your headlights for that, but
Yeah.
no one does, and they get like these bright ass LED like halogen bulbs, and it's like right in
Yeah.
my eyeballs. I'm like,
Oh,
fuck me.
that's tough. You need to get a periscope.
So when they do that, I just turn my brights on.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, that's literally what I do. I'm like, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Let that be a lesson to all of you that have a lifted truck and don't put your light bulbs down. You're an asshole. I'm looking at you, Greg. That's why nobody likes you.
I hope you trip on your way down.
Yeah. You got to jump out because he spent all the money lifting it. He didn't get the riser bar or the step bar put in, so he's got to jump in and out.
Yeah. Oh, another thing, the people who get like you know, the mirrors, like towing mirrors, how they stick out further than like normal mirrors on your car.
Yeah, they remind me of like Shrek's ears.
Yeah, they make
Yeah.
a like if you get them like on a Dodge, it makes the Dodge look like a whale to me for some reason,
Okay.
and it looks ugly as fuck. Any car truck that has them. If you're not using it and you're not like towing like a fifth wheel or a real trailer, there's
Yeah.
no reason for you to get it.
No, absolutely not.
Your
I
stock
mean,
mirrors are fine.
yeah, and I don't know what you would want, why you would want a truck that looks like the country of Wales. Probably Greg's truck.
Yeah.
Looks like what is what?
Yeah, if you
Like,
get
like a Shamu whale or like
think of
a
like a Dodge like 1500,
yeah,
like a 2008 Dodge or somewhere in like the 2008 2016 range,
yeah, with that
where it's
grill.
like with the curve, it's all really curvy.
Yeah.
If you get those, you'll see what I'm talking about if you ever find one.
No, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I never equated it to a whale face. I always looked at cars and I always like looking at the headlights and pretending they were eyes. Like I always see faces and stuff with the cars and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty car. But
Are
I'm talking
you
more about that.
are you a believer in Catholicism?
Is that where the car pope is
Yeah, the
the
car
thing
pope from the movie
from the
Cars.
movie
There's
Cars?
there's a pope. They have a pope mobile and
They
it's
do have a
sentient.
pope.
So that means that the Cars universe has Catholicism, and
Here,
they get also get Carcumcised.
they do. What is it? What does that entail? Do they cut the exhaust? Well, everybody has an exhaust. Do they just cut the catalytic converter off? You're
Yeah,
straight piping.
probably.
Oh, speaking of straight piping or uncircumcised, uh, I have a friend that works in the hospital, and a lot of the time they have to straight catheter people, where they just put a tube inside of you to make you pee if you can't
Mm,
pee.
yeah.
And she apparently is not well versed in the uncircumcised penis land.
Oh boy.
So she always has to get help because she thinks that it like she
SOS.
grabs it and she starts like moving it, and if you don't get it right, like you gotta like it's a floppy, right? But even then
Hmm.
you still have to get it to where like it has enough of a
Well,
stance on itself
of
and then you
course
can
it
pull
is.
it
You're about
back.
the person's about to get a fucking tube up their wiener, so
Right.
not
So
too
she,
floppy too.
yeah. So she goes and gets the nurse. She's like, I need help, man. You gotta pull this back or you gotta do it. Cause I'm like, oh my God.
She can't just one hand it and like grab it, pull back.
I don't know. Well, if you do that, you're grabbing the wiener still, so you would still have to like. And if it's small, you're really gonna be running into a lot of like extra curtain on your window, if you feel me. And this chick's got like two kids, I think.
How
So
does she not know wiener works?
I mean, maybe she's never seen a cut one or an uncut.
Mm,
Yeah, I think what was it? I think that's what Adam Sandler's movie's about, Uncut Gems.
yeah.
Have you ever seen like a serious Adam Sandler movie?
I think so. It wasn't Uncut Gems.
Nah, like
But if that's his only one, then no.
he has that. He has like The Cobbler.
No, I haven't seen that one. There was
I
one on
think
Netflix that I thought I saw.
Spanglish.
No.
That one is a really old. That's like one of his first movies.
And I can't say I have. I thought there was one. I just can't think of one then. And
Yeah,
maybe I did. It didn't stick out to me enough for me to remember
yeah,
what it was called.
yeah. I mean, I guess Click is kind of in that same vein.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean, if you're
funny,
counting
but
Click, then I'd count 50 First Dates.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's dealing with a very horrific mental disease. Not him, but
Yeah. I'm just not a huge Adam Sandler fan.
yeah. And he just released a Netflix special recently, comedy
Yeah.
special. I don't remember what
Oh.
it is. 100% fresh or something like that. Or
I knew he was there. He was going on tour here, and the radio station was giving away tickets, and I'm like,
oh, better switch to country. How much I don't want to listen to this.
you can't pay me to go to that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of comedy. I'm not a student of the game, obviously, but
I
yeah,
like
I
it.
don't
It's
know, man. It
just
was pretty good.
people are too get too upsetty spaghetti about it nowadays, and even
Oh
beforehand,
yeah.
there's not too many funny comedians out there anymore, in my opinion. There
No,
really
not
isn't.
really. Everybody's trying to follow this George Carlin hot take,
Yeah,
serious look at society, and it's like, yeah, you remember when you could just talk about assholes?
yeah. You just crack a joke, and you're like, haha, thank you, funny man.
Right.
Remember Jeff Dunham?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham, I think, was peak comedy for the United States because you know what? He came out there, he did his puppet show.
Oh, it was funny too.
He's slightly racist, but
Yeah.
par for the course at the time.
You know what? Speaking as a Mexican, I forgive him for Jose Jalapeno. I think that was hilarious, and I would never be mad at him for that.
And
I don't
Ahmed,
speak on behalf of all of the Hispanic community, but I definitely speak on behalf of myself.
yeah. I mean, like that though.
Well, he also had like a Bubba,
Yeah,
and he was an equal opportunity offender.
he was.
God, man, he was pretty good. Didn't his like life fall apart?
I don't think so.
Yeah, didn't he like lose? Didn't he lose everything and his wife, kids?
I know a lot of comedians struggle with divorce.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's 60 years old.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, he has been doing it for about 20 years.
Yeah, he divorced from his wife in 2008. They were married since 94.
Man, how do you walk away 14 years later? Like, some shit had to have
And
happened. You don't
then
just fall out of love.
he remarried in 2012.
Oh, good for him.
See,
Get,
early life, career, comedy specials.
I think Spark of Insanity was like one of his first.
The critical praise and controversy. I'm not really seeing anything about his life falling apart.
Hmm. I mean, he did release a special in the 2010s. So I mean, he had to have gotten something back on track.
Yeah, people just got upsetty spaghetti about him for having Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
Oh my god, get over it. It's like, what are you on about? Why can't we ever just have something at face value? Why does everything have to be so deep? You know who I blame?
Who?
Female rappers talking about big dick sizes and how deep they can go. And then everybody was like, "Oh, I can go deep too, whether it's socially or physically." Oh,
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about his life falling apart, so
I like, I like how you just breezed right over that one.
I wasn't really listening to what you were saying. I was reading.
Don't worry about it. It's not worth repeating.
I knew something had to do with dicks, and I was like, oh, I'm tuning this one out.
Did you not listen to the beginning of this podcast? Did you not listen to the intro? I already have the next intro written out.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be a slapper.
Have you enjoyed the new Pokemon game?
Honestly, yes. Shelby's been playing a lot more than I have because she really enjoys Pokemon. I do too, but I really wanted just a new story, and this one and the mechanics of it, it feels like a brand new Pokemon game.
Yeah, the mechanics are kind of the same as every old Pokemon game. I really wish they brought some of the stuff from like Scarlet, not Scarlet, but Arceus over. But
Yes.
Pokemon always has done that. They'll introduce a new thing and they're like, "Hey, look at this new thing. You're never gonna see it again."
Yeah, and
Honestly, when they did Mega Evolutions 2 series in a row,
yeah.
that was a that must have been a stretch for them
Why do you say that?
because they don't repeat like a gimmick.
Ah, well,
Like Dynamaxing was only
yeah,
for Sword and Shield.
right.
Arceus's
Arceus
battle
was,
system is just for Arceus.
yeah, I really enjoyed the battle system there.
I enjoyed the battle system there, but I didn't enjoy like the lack of like battles and like I couldn't go online and battle other people.
Yeah, I think if they would have added the PvP, they could have definitely taken Arceus for another
You
6 months, so
you
that way
know
they could still work on this game.
Came out 10 months ago.
For real?
Yeah, it's only been 10 months. It hasn't even been out a full year.
Fuck, man.
And then they released this game.
Which they definitely should not
If
have.
they could have just waited the extra like 2 months, maybe three, I'd say two, they could have
Yeah.
polished this game off.
Oh, and I mean, maybe they were trying to get it in for the holiday season, but
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't
definitely
matter.
were.
Though it doesn't matter though. Anybody who's gonna buy a Pokemon game is just going to buy this game. Pokemon has that kind of
Yeah.
reach.
And you know what? I'm tired of the excuse of, oh, it's the first week. What do you expect the game to work? Yeah, I do.
Yes, yeah, that is exactly it.
I don't know about you, but I remember when I could go to the store and buy like a GameCube game or a PS2 game, and guess what? Unless nobody did work on it in the end, they wouldn't release a broken piece of shit.
Right. And that's not to say those games were 100% ready to go, but
No.
98% of the game was fantastic. Sometimes you got a little too crazy and the game was like, hey, soft lock. But it
It was
barely ever
very
happened.
rare.
Right. And it only did that when you were probably in, I don't know, the end game and you were running around doing all the extra shit with all the extra features added, and just some things weren't really meant to be used at the end. They were supposed to just be done with. You're not supposed to go back to the first level and kick the shit out of literally everything for no reason.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna break this into like I'm gonna say two. It might be three.
Okay.
The overall graphics of the world are dog shit, and the game kind
Oh,
of runs like dog shit. The game kind of looks like a late PS2 game almost.
yeah. Yeah.
That's just the world. This is the late PS2 game.
Hmm.
Uh, I heard, and I don't know how true this is, but the problem with like it lagging so much has to do with a memory leak issue.
Yeah, and what exactly does that mean? Are they
So
just
it means
rendering
like
everything and caching
it's
it too
leaking
much?
RAM somewhere from some part of the code.
Right.
Um, so it's not like being able to use like the full processing power as far as understand. I didn't look too hard into it. I'm also not
Yeah. But yeah,
a
that's what I've heard
person
as
who
well.
like looks into code,
Yeah.
but that's what I've heard.
Yeah. If you restart it every few hours, it works pretty well and it's not
Yeah,
too laggy. But you definitely have to make sure that if you do a lot in 1 hour, save it, restart it, and then if you're just fucking around in an area for the next four, you're probably fine.
moving on. The individual character models for the Pokemon though, I think are great.
Yes.
They're way better than what they were in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield's Pokemon kind of look like they were sick and they didn't have like color to them. Their colors were
Yeah.
very muted. Here, I feel like
Yes.
the colors they're not 100%, but they could be a little bit better. But they're way better than what Sword and Shield was.
Hmm.
Um,
In Sword and Shield, it
that's
felt like they
great.
just put a bunch of shapes together and then
Um,
called it a Pokemon as opposed to really
the
fleshing it
models
out.
look good. They've reused some models, and that's to be understand. I can't expect them to, you know,
Right.
we're almost. I think we're probably about like 1,000 Pokemon now, so we can't be
Yeah.
getting too antsy about that because they still have to make new ones. But the attack animations look good.
Hmm.
I like those. I'm pretty happy with that. The character models. The only thing I'm not too happy about is the character customization
Oh, it
that you
is
can't change like
lackluster
the
at best.
shirts. You only get
Yeah.
like four options for like a shirt
Hmm.
combo.
Yeah, I think it's the seasons, isn't it? Fall, winter,
Yeah.
summer, second
And then
spring.
you can get like hats, gloves, shoes, backpack, and like if you really wanted to, you can get like a like joggers suit. Like I don't know what to call them.
Nah, I have no idea. I don't
Uh,
think I'm that far yet. Well, I don't know if Shelby's that far yet.
it's like long socks.
I don't know if I call those joggers.
No, I'm trying to think of the term for them, but I can't. Anyways, that lack I don't like that. But the character models themselves are great. The story, the writers for this story did an amazing job. I love it.
They pulled in George R. R. Martin, from what I understand.
I'm glad they didn't. Um,
Do you not
the
enjoy
stories.
Elden Ring?
I didn't play Elden Ring.
Ah, well, apparently he
I'm not a
made it, and it
masochist.
was, yeah, it's a great game, but the only thing he did was make the world, and I think it was just a marketing ploy. But back to Pokemon.
Yeah. Story's fantastic. It's really good. I think this is the best one they've done so far. Um,
Yeah, the little bit that I've seen
the
Shelby play,
story behind
it's very good.
the story behind Team Yell is great. The Titan story is great,
Team
and
Yell or Team Star?
Team Star.
Okay,
Did I say Yell?
you did say Yell.
Oh, I was.
I was like,
Anyways,
ooh, spoilers. Ooh.
it's not a spoiler. Team Yell's not in this.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Story
it's we
behind Team
spoiled that they're not here.
Star is great. Um, and then yeah, after you get to the gym and the Elite Four and all that stuff, um, the that's not the end. You do like one final mission to the final boss, and oh my god, that whole thing is just fantastic what they introduced there. I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
I don't want to say too much here because you haven't finished it yet, and
Yeah,
somebody might listen and not be finished with it.
yeah. I
But
think Shomi and I have just gotten to the third gym.
the new stuff
Just
that
beat
they
it.
added at the end is really cool. And the story for that was it's a bit sad, but it's really cool too.
Oh, do we die at the end?
No,
Oh, this game sucks.
you have Scarlet, so yours is no, you have Violet, so yours is a little
Yeah.
bit different than mine, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just uh, what do you call it? Hold on
Same
one second.
story, but somebody else dies.
Second.
But
Uh,
yeah, Arceus sucks. Go ahead.
no,
Or
I mean,
yeah, you're talking about the story at the end.
yeah, the end was good. After post game stuff is pretty good. Like right now, I'm working on grinding out Pokemon, doing raids to try and get all the stuff that I missed, so I can get like shiny charms and start doing that.
Yeah.
Trying to complete the game before they start adding like DLC and stuff like that before it becomes
Yeah.
harder to complete.
Yeah. Did you ever do the DLC for was there a DLC for Arceus?
No. I did the
Okay.
DLC for Sword and Shield, but I never 100%ed like the Pokedex there,
Yeah.
because it became too much.
Yeah.
So I figure I'll do it here because there's way less Pokemon.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Sword and Shield had what, 600?
they ended up at like 900 at the end because they added like all the DLC stuff.
Oh man. So the entire Pokédex, I guess.
Yeah, there were so many in Sword and Shield here. It seems like they picked a good like chunk of like 400 or something like that.
The highest I've gone to
It's
where I've seen is like 356. So,
actually I can check. Let me just pull out my Switch here.
oh dude, get fancy.
Yeah.
Stunting on them poor kids. Look at me. Santa loves me.
You mean I had to buy this with my own
Oh,
money?
that's right, kids. Santa's dead. He's not real.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. Pokedex.
Also, if you're a kid and listening to this,
400.
400. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good chunk. And
Yeah.
majority of them in the decks are older. I think there's like 180 new ones, which is a great variety.
Just pretty good. Yeah.
I think I'm missing because to complete the decks, you can't just see them in this game. You have to actually catch them all, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
what can you do? I think I'm missing about like 20, 25 somewhere in there. Like today, I was working on
But
getting
are those game specific ones you're missing, or
some of them are, some of them aren't.
okay, just haven't found them yet?
Yeah, and you could do some of the more game specific ones in raids. Like I saw, what was it, this rule edge in a raid today. I just couldn't join it, and that's what I
Uh,
was gonna get to next. The online for this game is way better for than Sword and Shield is. Uh, Using link codes is so much better because it
yeah,
doesn't like delete your link code as soon as you use it. Like you can keep reusing it. Like you don't have to put it in again. That's really good. It seems like the connection for it is better.
yeah,
My only complaint is raid battles fill up so fast. Like when I go to join like a raid battle, like in their screen, I can never join because they always fill up so fucking quickly, and it doesn't like tell
yeah.
me. And then the refresh screen takes a while for it to refresh. Like I have to sit there for like 2 minutes before it allows me to refresh, and I end up just doing like a random raid battle, which is fine. You
Uh,
get
uh,
candies and
yeah,
stuff, but it'd be cool if I was able to join ones that I wanted to, but I really can't control that.
yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that'll be a little better as the game kind of goes off. I mean, this is the first week.
Yeah, it's probably only to get more popular because you got Christmas coming up, so you have all the Christmas players.
Yeah. So you probably won't get a
I might
any
get like a
alleviate until
good
mid January.
like 2 weeks in it somewhere.
Yeah.
And my internet's already
Well,
dog shit as it is, so
yeah. Now you were saying that you need a Nintendo Online for this. Now, what is that exactly? Just to run around with each other, or what?
that's to do everything online, like trading, battling, running around together.
Even the raid battles and shit.
Yep. unless you want to do them
Oh,
offline. And doing them offline is a pain in the ass because your teammates kind of suck. I mean, the AI for your
oh yeah.
teammates is way better than what it was in Sword and Shield,
Do they
and
not just use tail whip over and over again?
no, they don't.
Oh wow.
And they gave them like more variety,
Yeah.
but
Instead of the same like 8 Pokemon.
yeah, but yeah, the teammate AI, they really want you to do it online,
Yeah.
which I understand. That's probably on Nintendo's end, not really Game Freak's end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, they were so busy making this game that online was just an afterthought. Nintendo said, "Don't worry, I'm Miyamoto and I got this."
You and fucking Miyamoto. Um, Overall, I really enjoyed the game. You know,
Mhm.
the 15 FPS here and there down to like 8 really sucks,
Yeah.
but it can be fixed, and I hope it gets fixed soon.
Yeah.
Um, with that being said, I'll probably give it like a 6.5 to 7, and if they fix it, I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah. As I
Overall, I
was walking to the bathroom, I watched Shelby fall into the dirt for like 15 seconds before the game was like, "Oh, maybe we should fix this."
what do you mean fall into the dirt?
So
Like
she
she
was
fell through the floor?
no, no, no. She jumped, hit the floor, but
Uh-huh.
it was still in the animation of like the head going down, but the back legs were still up as if you
Yeah,
were
that
still falling.
happens.
Yeah. So
Though people use that for speedrunning.
really.
Yeah, they'll intentionally get that, like they'll jump and like get onto like a ledge where it doesn't like land properly, and they'll do like a back jump and it shoots them up high.
Oh wow. I know that you can plug in 2 controllers or have 2 controllers linked and
Yeah,
use that to speed run, which is the like that's it's like one of the first things that you do in
you
a
should have
game.
checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. There's some things that are kind of inexcusable, and that's why I said like a
Yeah.
six
But
and a
great
half, seven.
story, good Pokemon, the battling's fun. It's an overall fun game. It just looks like trash.
Yeah, and the new Pokemon they added is great. I
Oh yeah.
mean, I really haven't had a complaint about any of the new ones that I've seen so far.
I have a complaint about one of them.
Which one?
Toad School
Oh my
or
God. Oh
whatever.
yeah. I've
Oh,
blocked him out of my mind.
oh
They did my
man.
boy Tentacool dirty.
So dirty, man. Now, how do you feel
The
about the terastallizing
I
and
like
getting
it.
like all the so now Pokemon essentially have so whenever you terastallize, you still have the
Hmm.
2 types and then whatever your terastallize is, right?
Yeah, and your Terastallized doesn't have to be one of those two types that you are.
Right. Now, is there any way to change your Pokemon's terastallize?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So there is probably a absolutely I mean, well, in Pokemon the good thing is that if you have an overpowered team, there's always a hard counter to something. Whether
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
through, whatever.
in this game though, like if you don't do things in order, because there is an order,
Yeah.
um, you're gonna go to play some places under leveled or over leveled, and it's not gonna be fun. You'll just like one shot everything, or you'll die.
Yeah.
Um, but if you like fight each other online, then yeah, the terrestrializing thing adds like a huge different thing because you can have like a, let's say for example, you have like a Breloom who's like a fighting grass type,
Yeah.
and you have that fire weakness, but you can terrestrialize into a fighting type, and you lose that, so you're instantly you still get your extra stab damage, which is same type attack bonus to your fighting moves.
Yeah.
They get powered up even further than that. So yeah, it's overall a great feature, and you can use it defensively too.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good move. I like the Dynamax thing. I'm one of the probably few people that did. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Like it's two like giant monsters fighting. That's what they were going for, I think.
Right. And that's the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah, it's like Godzilla versus Ghidra.
Yeah. Or King Kong. Only the 1962 version, though.
Yeah. Um, there's a few minor things that I don't like not being able to change the game to like set mode, to like have it like stop prompting me to change my Pokemon every after one faints or something,
Yeah.
like during like a battle.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, your
that.
opponent's gonna pull out this one. Do you want to pick your type advantage?
Yeah, like I'm all about
Yeah.
like being,
In the moment.
yeah, like caught on the back foot because you're
Yeah.
supposed to, them dying and being able to set out a new Pokemon is supposed to be like a counter to yours, but if you can just change it around, it makes the game too easy.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
supposed to be able to just keep it interesting.
I just mash B through it, but still, I shouldn't have to go through that prompt.
Right. What I do like though is that you can put it to where it doesn't prompt you if a Pokemon learns a new move though.
Yeah, but that I do want to keep. But they've made it a lot easier. Like, are you sure you want to keep this move? No, you can just hit B now, and it's so much better.
Nice.
Like, I
They
turned that
changed up the
off.
UI.
Yeah, because I turned that off at the beginning, and there's some Pokemon that need moves to level up. Like, they have to learn a move to level up.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But with them
But
just changing it to one, like, B button and you being able to, like, change the moves in your Pokemon party is made up for that. I love that.
yeah. Well, yeah, you can just change everything like the way you could in Arceus. If you learned it at some
Yeah.
point but forgot it, you can just pull it in or pull it out or yeah. I do like I said, I do really like the terastallizing. It just kind of for me though, it pushes me further away from PvP,
Really.
but only because I'm not really into PvP anyway, as well with Pokemon, I should say. And it's going to add a lot more I wouldn't say difficulty, but wrinkles that somebody who's into this really will enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
you're really into Pokemon. You love it.
It adds
For
like
me, yeah,
it's like a whole new strategy.
yeah. Now I have no problem like PVE, but
But
yeah,
the games are too easy for for me to enjoy PvE, really. I
right,
skipped like 99% of the in-game trainer battles.
right, because you don't have to. And by the time you get to them, they're like the level 3 Lechonk. Like,
And
what are you doing here?
that was another interesting thing that I thought. Like they didn't um trainer you can just initiate trainer battles. They're not going to come out and like battle you if you cross their path.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I felt about that, but
I think it was the same thing in Sword and Shield and Arceus, was it not? Or
no,
Arceus.
Arceus, there really hardly was trainer battles, and
That's true. It was more just wilderness.
when there was, it was a required one,
Yeah,
and that you had the prompt to be ready. But there were some like battles that weren't unprompted. Like if you met their eyes or walked past them, you would battle them.
yeah. Huh.
Yeah, this is the first game where trainer battles are optional,
Yeah.
unless
Now,
it's like your
yeah,
rival.
yeah.
Speaking of the
Other
rival,
than the storylines.
I love Nemona way more than I like Hop. Hop was a whiny little bitch,
Oh my God.
and
Yes.
Nemona was actually a challenge.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier Bucky. Yeah, with her prosthetic arm and can-do attitude, man. I loved her.
You know, Hop was like sitting here crying, like, "Why can't I be good?" She's like, I'm a champion, and you have to catch up to me."
As you kick her ass a
Well,
hundred
yeah,
percent of the
well,
time, but
she's leveling down for you
right.
in the sense that I really like that.
Yeah,
I think she's like the best rival so far in years.
yeah. Only other guy is Gary, who showed up at 14 with a car full of bitches.
Yes. Gary and his fucking Ho squad.
Oh yeah,
The sandwich stuff is kind of fun. Once
yeah,
you figure out what stuff does, it makes the game really cool.
yeah.
That's
Like,
how
there's all
you,
those powers, right?
yeah, like you can use that to your advantage, like for shiny hunting, for grinding, for getting eggs, because that's how you breed now. It's in the picnic.
So what do you do? Do you just have two of the same Pokemon type, and then you're just like, hey, we're
Yeah,
gonna picnic?
so if you're just doing like it, if you want to breed, what they do is that you have to have like if your Pokemon can breed, it's in the first slot and the last slot.
So like or slot 1 and slot 6.
Yeah. If they
Oh,
can, that's how they do it. And there's a little basket off to the side that you can check to see if there's eggs. Or you can just have like a Ditto and something else in your party and that's it, and just do it that way.
that is wild to me.
But
Cause
it's really cool because you
yeah,
can just stand there now and you can collect up to like if you just stand there for like 10 minutes, you can probably collect like 10 eggs.
which isn't bad at all. And then if you're really looking for that one, I mean, even then now, why would you? I don't know if there's any point to doing that. Is because I mean, what you have like egg moves maybe,
Egg
but
moves, egg Pokemon have a higher chance to be shiny with the Masuda method.
what is the Masuda method?
So the Masuda method is, I forget exactly where it came from, but basically you take like a Pokemon, like let's say like we're in the United States, right?
Oh, the
So
foreign
for
Pokemon.
example, if I have like a let's just say a Pidgey from, there's no Pidgey in this game, but you get what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
I have like a Pidgey from United States region and I get a Ditto from Japan, uh, the and I breed the two of them to get more Pidgeys, because the Ditto is Japanese, there's a higher chance for it to be shiny.
Hmm. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I heard about that. Have you ever actually completed a full Pokédex of just shiny?
No, that's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, people have probably gotten close to it, but that takes so much time. Like I've gotten two
Oh yeah.
shinies in this game, but that's
Oh
just for
wow.
me like running around the same area grinding.
Yeah, I know you had that Sneasel.
Yeah, and today I caught a shiny Chansey while grinding on
Oh,
Chanseys.
nice. Now, what were you grinding chances for? IV leveling or what?
No, for XP, Chanseys give a lot of EXP.
Ah, okay.
These Chanseys give about 2,000 XP to whatever Pokemon you have in the front with a lucky egg on. Sometimes
Okay.
they give more depending on the
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Now, did you know that you can't set up a picnic anywhere?
Yeah, I know that. You have to do
Yeah.
it like away from people and not in like cities.
Or on a slope.
Yeah, you can't do it on slopes either, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
Shelby and I were playing and we're like, oh man, we got fucked up. All right, we'll just set up a picnic. And we're doing it and we're just going and going and going and we're like trying to do it as we're going. And apparently it needs to
You
be
can't.
less than like a 10% grade.
Yeah, I don't know what the grade for the incline needs to be for a picnic.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. So we ran probably 100 pokey feet before we were able to set our roots down.
I mean, that's to be understood because there's so much you can do inside the picnic. I think it would.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you don't go to a separate screen. It's just
It's
right
right
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And I think that's another part of the problem with this game is it's totally open world. Like when you enter like a city sometimes, you might
Yeah,
get the cutscene of going through the door and coming out on the other side, but you
yeah,
don't have to go through that.
yeah,
It's totally open world, which is better than what Arceus was, which was like semi-open world.
yeah. I mean, it was open world, but you just had this very
It
small
was op-
section.
it was open area.
Yeah, yeah. But here you can go literally anywhere. Go get your ass kicked by level 40,
Yeah.
whatever.
How you doing on those gimme ghoul tokens?
I think Shelby's got 6 or 7
I mean,
gimme gold tokens. She
because
has no
you
idea where to even check.
it's in your if you look in like, it's not your treasures, but like the drops that Pokemon give you, like
Yeah.
it's in there. You need 999 to evolve your gimme ghoul.
Are there only 999 gimme
No,
ghouls?
there's more than that.
Okay, so you just have to be on the lookout as you're running around.
What you should do is, those towers that you see running around, the fast travel
Yeah.
towers.
Yeah.
Normally, the chests are there, and the chests normally give 50 or more tokens,
Oh shit! I thought you were really gonna have to like Korok seed this shit.
and they can give more than that. Like I've gotten some with like 70.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
I
know I
just
saw a streamer had it. I had something, and it was in a treasure chest.
yeah, that's what all I did is after I had gone through the game, I just went to all the towers and the ones that I haven't gone to, and I collected tokens, and I had to go to like one other room to go get a 999, and I evolved them. It wasn't that hard. I thought it was going to be way harder than that, and I thought there was only 999, but knowing that there wasn't, I was like, okay, that's way better.
Yeah, because at this point, like if that happens, you got to get a guide, and you have to follow it from the very beginning.
Yeah, I did use a guide because I was like, okay, is there only 999? They're like, no, there isn't. They'll respawn after a couple days too.
Oh wow. Okay, so you just run around. You'll as you're exploring, you'll just find them.
Yeah, mostly
Ooh, I
just check
like
out the
that.
lookout towers. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be
Yeah,
way more difficult, and I'm glad. And
yeah.
the evolved form of him is really cool.
Okay. Well, we haven't caught one yet, but when we do, no, that's pretty legit. Like I said, this game, it's a really good game. I think you just needed some more time in development. I get you were trying to bring it out right before the holidays, but I mean, even if you would have taken another few weeks, I think a lot of this could have gotten cleaned up.
So getting the starters was a pain in the ass because apparently everybody and their mother chose Fuecoco.
Doofus, yeah.
I had to spend literally probably like an hour trying to get the two other ones just through not Wonder Trade, but just the normal trading that they have in the game online.
Oh, what were you doing? Like, hey, I need someone to send me this. I'll send you a Fuecoco.
I just show the starter and show me, okay, I have Fuecoco too.
Oh,
We're both in
fu-
the same boat.
right. So how would what do you mean? How would you do that? Like,
I
is there a
just kept
menu or?
I just kept doing it.
And then when
I,
someone's like, "Yeah, I'll trade with you," then you'd be like,
then somebody would
"Fuecoco,"
show like a Quaxley, and I was like, yes, yes, accept my trade, accept my trade, accept my trade.
and then they'd be
I
like,
would
"Nah, I already got a Fuecoco. Fuck you."
well, yeah, they'll decline it if they already have it.
Yeah. Well,
But
but you
yeah,
can breed anything in this game, right? There's a Ditto.
yeah, it took me a while to get a Ditto though.
Yeah,
Dittos I think you can find in the wild, or they're only from raids. I haven't figured out. I got mine from a raid.
yeah. I mean, either or, you'll eventually run into it.
So yeah, and that's what I did. I breeded my thing to get more starters to trade, so I can get other starters.
Yeah, and then man, just you can just start peddling them.
Oh, I'm not going to because apparently everybody has a Fuecoco, so there's no point in me doing any more of those unless I wanted to get like a shiny one or like perfect stat one. But I'm not too super worried about it.
Yeah, God, man. And then there's always somebody. So I just want to see, like, I would never do it, but I would love to watch somebody build a mega team and go out and I would love to see the PvP battle with those teams.
I mean, normally there's rules to Pokemon, like you can't have like oh you can only use like one legendary on your team, like in tournaments. I mean,
Yeah,
um, but if you go to like Pokemon Showdown, there's like a section to where it's like there's no rules, anything goes, and you can just get like a stacked team of like legendaries and like banned Pokemon.
yeah. And how many Pokemon are actually banned? I know Chatot is banned for sure.
There's a few. It's normally the moves that get banned, not the Pokemon themselves.
Moves.
Yeah, like a move
What move?
if a move is too good.
Like what? What move is like? Oh, that's get it out of here.
Um, for one, I could probably tell you one that's gonna get banned like immediately is you know that little like mouse thing that you find really early in the game,
No,
the like the Pikachu clone
no.
or like Palmot or something like that,
Oh,
Pomo.
Palmy, yeah.
Yeah,
The little
that thing,
Stuffle, electric
it's
Stuffle.
full of all form gets a move called Revival Blessing, and
Oh
it
yeah,
just revives a Pokemon on your team, like a
yeah. No,
revive.
there's no way that's
I mean,
gonna
it has one
stand.
PP, but it doesn't like kill your Pokemon. It doesn't. It's just
Right.
yeah, it's revived
You
now,
use a turn to
and I'm
revive somebody for
sure
free.
if I really wanted to, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure I can use like an item to give it more PP.
Oh yeah, what is it? Not ether.
Elixirs, I think.
Elixir, yeah.
I haven't tried it,
Yeah,
but
and then if you get one that's just got a crazy high, I mean, it's not really a defensive Pokemon though.
it could take some hits,
Yeah, it could take some hits. So I mean, if you
and
just have it there
especially
and
if you
just
build it
yeah,
defensively, I'm sure you could.
yeah, and then you can just have it revive your entire team. Well, possibly. I think there's a max to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can only probably get like 3 or maybe 4 out of it.
Yeah,
But
so
even
you can,
still,
but yeah,
one is
yeah,
I've never thought Pokemon would make a move like that.
nah.
But he has another cool move where it's called like Final Charge or something like that, where he uses up all the electricity in his body and he just becomes a fighting type now. But that's really cool. So you're not like
Oh,
to ground moves anymore.
yeah.
And then if you are smart, you can do that and then terrasticize back into an electric type if you need to, and just keep using that move, and you won't lose the the electric type. Because once you use it, you
Yeah.
can only use it really like once in battle.
Yeah. There's so much to this game. And like I said, it feels like it's a breath of fresh air. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
Arceus was fun with the little Pokedex thing. Sword and Shield was like, yeah, we haven't had a good Pokemon game in a while. Or I
yeah.
think
Sword and
Sword
Shield
and
was
Shield was that the
Sword and Sh-
first console?
yeah, it was the first one on the Switch.
Yeah.
It was okay, and then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were just video games,
Emulators. Yeah. Was it,
essentially.
what do they call them? A port?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not even full because I think they got rid of the underground,
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Where you could just be down there searching for shit.
like fossils, other like stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. So, this really felt like a classic Pokemon game. And then they just made it. They added all these features that really work well.
yeah. They
It's
took some.
just, yeah. Go ahead.
They for the most part they work. Um, like I said, the frame rate stuff needs to be fixed. That needs
Yeah.
to get fixed. But the stuff that they improved upon from like Sword and Shield, that's great. It made it like quality of life improvements.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are great. And
Remember when people said Sword and Shield look like shit?
yeah,
Little did we know.
I think Sword and Shield ran better.
Oh yeah, ran much better. It still had its faults, but much better, I would say.
Oh yeah. Things weren't popping in and out of existence like they were in fucking this game.
Yeah. And they had already done Arceus. Like there's no like it was an area. So I guess it was like a proof of concept.
You
But
know,
10 months wasn't enough to bring up an entire thing.
Arceus was in development before Sword and Shield.
Ah, oh, that's right. So that would explain why it was smoother. It was a smaller game though, I would say.
Yeah. Yes
It
and
was more
no.
about you. You could make it a bigger game than it
Oh,
was.
most definitely. You could just do the
Yeah,
bare minimum you needed to and get through the story,
very quickly.
which is kind of what happened to me at the end. I still don't
Mhm.
really enjoy Arceus all that much
Yeah,
because it was the same thing every area. It's just like, hey, go get the level
15
you
of
need.
these. Yeah,
Yeah, just level up till you can move on to the next spot.
yeah.
I was like, are we gonna have something going on? No.
No, no, just
Okay.
go do that. I think Arceus, Shelby, and I did complete with your help, and we did the entire Pokédex and all the little Pokédex bullshit in it to be level 10. And I mean, it wasn't worth it, but it was just something to do, you know?
Yeah, like I couldn't. I'm like this game. I couldn't see myself getting Arceus is cool because you can transfer. And next year you can start transferring those Pokemon into this game.
Oh, wow.
I believe in February they said it'd be able to come
Now, is that
through
any Pokemon, or is that going to be
Pokemon
the?
Home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, all your Legend Arceus Pokemon could go over to this game. All the Hisuian versions. And I thought that was pretty cool. And that's gonna add a
Yeah,
whole other layer because
yeah,
those are gonna be able to terastallize and that kind of thing.
yeah. And I'm really gonna be excited about it because like there's the Hisuian versions, which the only one that I can recall off the top of my head is the Arcanine that's now a flying fire.
What?
Yeah, isn't Arcanine wasn't it a flying type, a
It
flying
was a
fire?
it was mono fire and then now it's like rock fire.
The Hisuian one in
Yeah,
Arceus?
it's rock fire.
Oh shit, I thought it was.
Where do you get
I don't know
flying
why I
from?
thought it was. I have no idea. So yeah, rock flying that or rock that. So it's just gonna be nice to see to bring it in and just have those different versions be different typed and come through. Yeah. All in all, I think it's I'm hoping a patch comes out. Usually there's always a day one patch or some shit. For whatever
Yeah.
reason, there wasn't one here.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they're just working on a big one, or maybe they just haven't found where it's dumping, and they'll figure it out soon. Because this is a great game, just needs a little work. And I mean, even if you can get mad and be like, oh well, it's blah blah blah, it's gonna be a huge update. Every time fucking Call of Duty updates, it's 60 gigs. It's
You're
half of the
basically
game.
like re-downloading the game all over again. Like, what
Right.
is it? Call it the new Modern Warfare game is basically it's almost unplayable to some
Oh
for some
yeah.
people, and then
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh yeah, well, what do you expect to work it on the first week?" Again, yeah, I do. We
Yeah.
shouldn't we shouldn't have to deal with people making a game and then patch later. It should
Yeah.
be a fully operational game when it comes out. And it's really
Right.
unexcusable when you're spending $70 on a fucking game and it doesn't work.
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. Who knows? Maybe this will be like the next No Man's Sky.
I hope not. I think people, yeah, No Man's Sky sucked and then they fixed it. But people saying,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Oh,
it's
a
gonna be the
faster
next No
No
Man,"
Man's.
no, there's no excuse, especially from Game Freak,
Oh yeah,
who
they're not
have,
an indie company. Yeah.
yeah, they're not an indie company with only like 5 people working on a game.
Yeah, that got flooded out.
I mean, come on. And No
Yeah.
Man's Sky is probably like a once in a lifetime fucking comeback story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just there's not a lot. There's no excuse here, and yeah, you can make jokes of oh the Switch is just a stronger tablet, but it's still it
Look
could
at
run The
Breath of the
Witcher
Wild.
3, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that was in. I mean, that was open world.
The Pokemon company, literally has a larger franchise and is probably more successful and more popular than Nintendo itself. And you mean to tell me they can't make a functioning game out of the gate?
Right.
No, it's laziness. It really is.
Yeah, they wanted to churn it out before the holiday season. I
And
guarantee it.
they knew they could, and they knew could get away with it. And they
Mm-hmm.
practically did. Because I'm
Yeah.
sitting here playing it, you're playing it, and probably a million other people
Everybody.
are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's
I don't have
no.
a.
Yeah.
Not many people got a PS5, so the other new game that came out this like time was God of War.
Yeah, and again, not many people got a PS5, and if you get for the PS4, your PS4 turns into Starscream and tries to jet out of your room.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that we still have to continue making PS4 games.
Yeah,
I haven't seen like a continuation happen like this in years.
yeah. Usually, by the time the next console comes out, what
It's
maybe a year and a half,
no, not even. It's
and
like 4 to 5 months.
yeah, before they start just absolutely
And
phasing the last gen
devs
out.
know like ahead of time when a new console is going out. These companies talk to each other.
Oh, absolutely. When they all get, I'm sure Nintendo sent them Switches and shit to test this on. Every
Yeah, like,
big development company like that gets that opportunity.
oh yeah, no, they've had dev consoles and they
Yeah,
probably have their own switches in there and they knew what the game was like and they still released it.
right. Because there's really no difference between day one Switch and probably the Switches now. I don't know if they
There
really
is.
went in. Okay, did they? But is it a big enough performance where you're like, oh, this is obviously a day one Switch?
I couldn't tell you that, but the normally dev consoles you can choose what update you want to go off of. Yeah, like you can
What
choose
do you
like
mean, like
what
the firmware?
yeah, what firmware you wanted to use, like like if you want to use like 1.41 or 1.32, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So you could test it on like every possible firmware possible.
yeah.
So there's no excuse for how the not knowing like, oh, we didn't know it was going to run like this.
There's absolutely no way that you didn't know. And but even when they were doing it in the what was it, the Nintendo Showcase or whatever the fuck it was,
They hit it pretty well. They couldn't hide
Yeah,
all of it, but they hit it pretty well.
yeah. Specifically, the windmill was one of the big
Oh
ones I
yeah,
saw. But yeah, you would
God,
always
the
see it. It was
windmill.
never straight on. It was always like
An
turned
angle,
behind.
close up.
Yes. Yes. They knew what was going on.
I think that's all I gotta say about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like I said, I enjoy it. It just needs to get a patch, and I think everything will be all right.
Oh, absolutely. Here's hoping it gets done soon and it doesn't
Yeah.
brick the game for 2-3 days while they try and figure it out some more.
Anything
Yeah.
else you want to talk about?
No, man, I think we hit pretty much everything and then some.
Yeah, you telling me.
Yeah. But all right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of the Bench Bros podcast, episode whatever, week 11.
Yeah, 11.
So, stay up to
Uh,
date on all of those podcasts at youtube.com/cheesepiece. Is that how that works?
Yep.
Yeah. And catch me live at twitch.tv/cheesepiece. Any plugs you want to make there, my boy?
You can follow me on Twitter. Not like I use it much. It's just the same 99. You want to see,
Yeah.
if you just want to follow. Sometimes I post when I go live there, when I stream, like maybe the 4 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, which you streamed a fucking hell out of the last 4 days.
Oh yeah, all the Pokemon. I think I got up to the last gym before I was like, I can't stream anymore. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get you.
Yeah, putting 55 hours into a game in less than a week is crazy. I mean,
Tough.
but
Tough.
I have like over 700 hours in CK3, so it's really nothing.
Yeah. It does get tiring. All right.
Oh,
All right, Sean. Thank you so
next,
much again.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to fucking be ya.